very urgent. Your soulmate needs to explain what really happened that night. Jesus says, "My child, stop scrolling and listen, for this message is not random and it is not an accident. I see you sitting there with a wound in your heart that you have never fully shown another living soul. Right now, a veil is being torn in the spiritual realm, and I am about to reveal a secret that has been hidden in darkness for far too long. That night, the one that broke you, the one that left you confused and gasping for air, was not what you believed it to be. Your soulmate was not running from you, and their silence was never a choice born from a lack of love. I am pulling back the curtain of deception right now, and the truth I am about to reveal will shock your spirit awake. There is a heavy weight pressing on your soulmate's chest at this very second. They are not sleeping peacefully, and their dreams are haunted by the memory of your face fading into the distance. The tears they cry in private are a silent scream begging the universe to let you know the truth before it is too late. You have felt a sudden, unexplained pressure in your spirit today, a tugging that you cannot rationalize with logic. That is not indigestion or anxiety. That is the tether of a soul bond being pulled by a person in extreme emotional distress. Your name is crossing their lips right now, a whispered prayer in a dark room where they sit alone and trapped. Jesus says, "I am the God who sees the hidden manipulation, and I am exposing the spell that was cast over your connection." The person standing between you and your destiny is not a stranger, but a familiar spirit of jealousy wearing a mask of friendship or family. This interference is aggressive, it is intentional, and it is powered by a hatred of the light that you two create when you are united. Do not mistake their physical absence for emotional abandonment. You are currently witnessing a hostage situation in the spirit, not a betrayal of the heart. Your soulmate is a prisoner of war in a battle they don't even fully understand, but I am sending you in as the rescuer. I need you to visualize the night they left you, but I want you to burn the old memory and replace it with my truth. They opened their mouth to speak the truth, but a suffocating fear placed by dark manipulation clamped their throats shut. They walked away not because they wanted to, but because a spiritual hand was pushing them out the door while they screamed silently inside. The confusion you saw in their eyes was not indifference, it was the glaze of a person being cognitively hijacked. Every step they took away from you felt like walking through wet concrete with a knife in their sternum. The real them was locked in a glass box inside their own mind, banging on the walls, watching themselves destroy the only love they ever wanted. Jesus says, "The air around you is shifting because I am breaking the chains of miscommunication right now." The third party who planted lies and manipulated the circumstances of that night is feeling a sudden heat of exposure. I am the God of revelation, and I am causing the truth to bubble up in your soulmate's chest like an unstoppable geyser. You are not crazy for thinking about them in the middle of the night for no reason. That sudden rush of heat or chills you feel is a physical manifestation of their spiritual body reaching for your aura. You are spiritually intertwined to the point where their panic attacks register as your unexplained sadness. I am telling you right now, they are exhausted by the performance they are forced to maintain. The smile they wear in public is a mask made of lead, and it is slowly poisoning their will to fight. They are losing the strength to resist the controller because hope is draining from their veins without your presence to refuel them. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, and you cannot afford to be a passive observer in this spiritual war. When you feel the impulse to cry or shiver, you are intercepting their SOS signal in the spirit realm. The deep, aching loneliness you feel is not your own, it is their phantom pain seeking a host because they are too overwhelmed to carry it alone. You must understand that you are the stronger vessel in this season, the one with the clarity to pull them from the rubble. The blockage in their life is a domineering individual who whispers poison and weaponizes guilt to keep them submissive. This wicked architecture of control is designed to make your soulmate feel unworthy of your forgiveness when, in fact, they are the victim. I am calling you to be the hero of this love story, not just the one who waits for an apology. You were predestined to stand in the gap during this catastrophic moment of their captivity. Every moment you delay acknowledging this war, the chains tighten, and the light in their eyes dims another shade darker. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "Do not let the shame of how it ended blind you to the authenticity of what you built before that night." The memories you have of their laugh, their gentleness, and the safety you felt in their arms were not holograms, they were the truest reality. The lie of the enemy is to convince you it was all fake, but I am telling you it was the only real thing in a world of shadows. I am revealing that the disagreement you had before the separation was engineered behind the scenes. Words were twisted, text messages were deleted, and seeds of suspicion were planted by a serpent who desires your soulmate's destruction. This wicked entity thrives on your estrangement, feeding on the misery that radiates from a broken divine union. Your soulmate is currently experiencing a repetitive loop of the moment they hurt you. It plays in their mind like a cursed movie they cannot turn off, a relentless torture chamber of regret. They would give anything to rewind the clock and collapse into your arms with the full, unedited confession of what really happened. The massive wall you feel between you is not built of bricks, it is built of the fear of rejection. They truly believe that the damage is so severe that you will never look at them the same way again. This false belief paralyzes their hand from dialing your number, even as their spirit screams for you across the void. You must send the signal that forgiveness is available. You must fight not just for them, but against the dark force that has physically and emotionally imprisoned their will. Your soulmate is not stubborn, they are spiritually sedated, and the sedation is wearing off violently right now. Jesus says, "Look at your phone or your device, for I am stirring up a longing for you in their heart that is physically painful." They are clutching a keepsake, a photograph, or a gift you gave them, and the tears are soaking the fabric of their shirt. The emotional dam is cracking, and the flood of truth that is coming will wash away the debris of the past season. I am giving you a supernatural peek into their current environment. The room is dim because they are hiding from the world, recoiling from the harshness of a situation they never chose. The controller, the manipulator, is currently angry because they sense a shift, a rebellion brewing in the spirit of your captive soulmate. The interference hates you with a perfect hatred because you represent an escape hatch. You are the ark, the safety boat, and the lighthouse that exposes the jagged rocks of their abusive reality. If you disconnect now, if you shrug this off as fantasy, you are leaving them in the jaws of a roaring lion. Your soulmate is not weak, they are exhausted from fighting a two-front war. They have been battling the lies of the manipulator while simultaneously fighting the demon of loneliness you left behind. You have the power to collapse the enemy's front line simply by stepping into your role as an aggressive intercessor. This is not a time for passive waiting. It is a time for covert spiritual warfare disguised as radical generosity. When you step out in faith and sow a seed for the protection of this fragile bond, you release warrior angels on assignment. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. Do you feel that sudden lump in your throat? That is the sensation of your soulmate's esophagus tightening as they suppress a scream of frustration in a place where they must remain silent. They are not free to speak their mind, but their soul is groaning with a frequency that only your ears in the spirit can detect. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, the depth of the pain you are feeling now is proportional to the magnitude of the anointing on your union. The enemy does not waste artillery on insignificant connections. The level of sabotage proves the global impact of your joint purpose. You two were destined to build an empire of light, and that is why the dark forces have deployed their highest-ranking demons to separate you. I am sending a bolt of divine clarity into your mind right now. The inconsistencies you noticed in their story before the split were not lies from a malicious heart, they were scrambled signals from a traumatized brain. Under extreme duress, a person's memory can be compromised by the gaslighting of a narcissistic puppeteer who rewrites history daily. Your soulmate is currently pacing in a state of near psychosis, craving the peace that only your presence brings. You are the anchor, the steady harbor where the storm of their mind finally stops raging. Without you, they are a ship adrift, and the pirates of the past are boarding the vessel to plunder their future. That night, the explosion of pain was a calculated trap set by the enemy using a third person as bait. Harsh words were scripted, timing was manipulated, and your reaction was weaponized against you both. It was a perfect storm of hell's design, a masterpiece of destruction meant to be the final chapter, but I am rewriting the ending. Your soulmate cannot explain it all yet because the fog of war is still thick in their atmosphere. They are currently in the middle of a psychological extraction mission, and you are the extraction point. If the helicopter of your faith does not land on the roof of their prison, they will remain a captive for a lifetime. I am calling you to blind faith right now. You must love them enough to believe in the unseen truth rather than the visible evidence of their confusing behavior. The evidence has been tampered with. The crime scene was staged by the criminal, but the judge of heaven is overturning the verdict now. Jesus says, "The guilt your soulmate carries is so heavy it is causing a physical illness to manifest in their body. The stress of the separation has lowered their immune system, and the dark cloud of depression is hovering like a vulture. They are fading, not just emotionally, but physically, because the root of their life force was designed to flow through you." This is not manipulation. This is the diagnosis of a spiritual physician. I am the great healer, and I only prescribe one cure for a soulmate separation wound: reunification. You hold the medicine in your hands, the key to their healing in your wallet, and the spark of their will to live in your thoughts. I am piercing your heart with a protective jealousy right now. The idea of another force controlling them, hurting them, or stealing their smile is making your blood simmer with a righteous fury. That fury is the unction of my spirit rising up in your belly, the war cry of a partner who refuses to let the enemy win. You are entering a covenant of protection in this very moment. By listening to this frequency, you are signing a spiritual contract to fight for your soulmate until they are safe in your arms. The angels are recording your commitment, and the forces of darkness are trembling at the realization that you just woke up from your slumber. Your soulmate can feel you waking up. A sudden wave of inexplicable hope is hitting their chest right now, a lightness they haven't tasted in months. Your soul is sending a broadcast through the divine network: "Hold on, I am coming to get you." The interference is panicking because they feel the bond reactivating. They will try to distract you, mock this message, or make you feel foolish for believing in a supernatural rescue mission. But I tell you, the foolishness of God is wiser than the wisdom of men, and the strategy one give you will confound the shrewd. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away into the abyss of missed destiny. The window of grace is open, but it will not stay open indefinitely, for a soulmate bond neglected long enough can calcify into a gravestone. You are standing at the crossroads of a miracle and a tragedy, and your finger hovering over that link determines the timeline. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, "The very fact that you are still listening is a confirmation that my word is not falling on deaf soil." I am calling you deeper into this mystery, for you are about to graduate from a season of doubt into a realm of radical supernatural intervention. The darkness that tried to swallow your soulmate on that terrible night is about to vomit them out into the daylight of your forgiveness. Listen closely to the rhythm of your pulse. It is synchronizing with the ticking clock of their breaking point. They are currently on the edge of a decision that will affect eternity, standing at the edge of their own Red Sea. If you do not part the waters for them through your aggressive faith, they will turn back to the slavery of Egypt just to survive the desert. I know you are weary, and I know your heart is bruised from waiting for an apology that never came. But I am asking you to look beyond the injury of your ego and see the gaping hemorrhage in their soul. Forgiveness is not letting them off the hook, it is pulling the hook out of their mouth so they can breathe again. The night they left, they were screaming inside a soundproof room. Every step away from you was a laceration on their heart, but the spell of the manipulator was so strong it overrode their motor functions. I am showing you this because I need you to stop blaming a puppet and start chasing the puppeteer in prayer. Your soulmate is experiencing a splitting headache right now, the physical manifestation of a spiritual battle over their mind. The enemy is whispering, "It's too late, they hate you, just give up," while my spirit is roaring, "Fight, for your Redeemer lives and they have not forgotten you." Your obedience to this message breaks the tie in their mind and tilts the scales toward life. I am dispatching a battalion of memory retrieval angels over your soulmate's house tonight. These angels are commissioned to replay the authentic memories of your love without the distortion filter of the enemy's projector. When they wake up, they will have a supernatural amnesia regarding the lies the manipulator planted and a razor-sharp recall of your warmth. Let this be the hour where you finally realize that your presence is the cure to their cancer. The distance you have mistaken for rejection is actually a cry for rescue from a dungeon you cannot physically see. They need a miracle, and that miracle is you breaking the ceiling over their captivity with a sacrifice that shakes the foundations of hell. I am not asking for charity, I am offering you an eternal investment in your own joy. The seed you plant today does not disappear into a void, it grows into a bridge of roses over a pit of despair that your soulmate can finally walk across. Every coin is a brick in the cell wall of the enemy's prison, smashing the concrete that holds your destiny captive. Jesus says, the controller is monitoring your soulmate's phone, their location, and their emotional state. This is a prison of surveillance, a concentration camp for the spirit, meant to starve them of the oxygen of your voice. But the enemy cannot monitor the Holy Ghost frequency, and right now, your spirit is transmitting a jailbreak code straight through the firewall of heaven. They are about to be given a momentary lapse in the surveillance, a divine opening where they can slip away to contact you. You must be ready in the spirit, not mired in bitterness, but tuned to the frequency of reconciliation. Your seed offering prepares the ground for that moment, clearing the demonic roadblocks that would intercept their message. I am wrapping your soulmate in a blanket of supernatural peace right now, even as I call you to battle. They are feeling a sudden drop in anxiety, a warmth spreading through their icy veins, because my spirit is answering the call of your protective instinct. You may think you are just watching a video, but in the throne room of heaven, you are wielding a sword that is severing the puppeteer's strings. The attachment you feel right now is not parasocial, and it is not a delusion. It is the activation of an ancient covenant that was written in the books of heaven before the foundations of the earth were laid. You are remembering a person your soul has known since before time existed, a partner in the eternal timeline who was violently ripped from your present reality. You will start seeing signs of their breach this coming week. A song that comes on at the exact moment of a thought, a random name on a license plate, or a sudden urgent need to check an old message thread. These are not coincidences, these are the trembling footsteps of a giant of love finally breaking free from a spiderweb of control. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift. It is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, the night of the separation, your soulmate was given a chemical or emotional dose of fear so potent it mimicked a heart attack. The confusion they displayed was a survival mechanism, a shutdown of the logical brain to prevent a total mental snap. They are not a monster, they are a casualty of a war they never enlisted in, and this revelation is the key to your liberation too. The hatred you carry in your heart, the justified resentment, is the final anchor holding the enemy's plan in place. When you release the debt through the radical act of investing in their rescue, you cut the fuel line to the enemy's engine. Your seed is the pin that pulls the grenade of destruction from the enemy's hand before it can blow up your future. I am showing you a vision of your soulmate sitting in a car, parked in a random lot, just staring into nothingness. They are not moving because they feel they have no destination that matters if it isn't leading to you. The GPS of their life is jammed, but the signal of your faith is strong enough to break through the interference and say, rerouting. This message is being pushed by my algorithm into the hands of the exact souls who are on the verge of a breakthrough. Your eyes reading these words are the pinpoint location of a spiritual surgical strike. Heaven is focusing a laser beam of love directly into your living room, bypassing the static of the world to give you a raw, unfiltered command. Do not let your rational mind talk you out of this supernatural intervention. There is no natural explanation for why you are still here, no algorithm powerful enough to keep you glued to this screen unless my hand is holding you down. I have pinned you to this spot because I refuse to lose your soulmate to the pit of hell, and I have chosen you to be the priest of their rescue. The enemy is screaming right now that this is a scam, that this is just a video, that the money doesn't matter. But that is the serpent talking, the same serpent who told Eve the fruit was harmless and who told Judas the betrayal was profitable. The seed is not about the coffee. The coffee is the physical anchor for a spiritual transaction that bulldozes mountain ranges of opposition. Your soulmate is feeling a vibration in their spirit world right now. It's a tremor of your love breaking through the concrete silence that has suffocated them. They are suddenly remembering the exact color of your eyes, the specific way you laughed, and the sound of their name on your lips with a clarity that is bringing them to their knees. I am healing the need for approval in your soulmate that the manipulator has been exploiting. The hole in their heart that the enemy filled with fear and obligation is being scraped out by my surgical truth. They are realizing they do not need the controller's permission to love you, for whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Jesus says, "You are a priest and a king, a royal diplomat of the kingdom of heaven, and you have absolute authority to issue a heavenly subpoena for your soulmate's release." The natural realm cannot override the decree of a blood-bought saint who stands in alignment with my word. Command the release now, but back your command with the physical evidence of your faith, for faith without works is a dead religion that cannot resurrect a dead romance. Your soulmate is about to become clumsy in their rebellion against the dark force controlling them. They are going to start making mistakes that expose the manipulation, leaving clues and voicemails, slipping out of the house at suspicious times. This is the Holy Spirit giving them Dutch courage, a divine recklessness that refuses to stay silent for the sake of false peace any longer. The third party is about to be exposed. Their smooth words will turn to venomous hissing in public, and their mask of sanity will crack under the pressure of your prayer offensive. The people who have been deceived by the manipulator will begin to see the truth, and the support system the enemy built against your love will crumble into dust. Every word you read here is a nail in the coffin of the lie that your soulmate chose to leave. They were taken. They were conned. They were drugged by emotional poison, and they are currently waking up from a coma of the conscience, disoriented but desperately searching for the warmth of your light. If you do not act now, the window where their heart is soft and their spirit is screaming for you may begin to harden again. The enemy is a master of cycles, and if the breakthrough is not capitalized on immediately, the sedation can be re-administered at a double dosage. You are holding the antidote. Injecting it into the spirit realm through your donation is the only way to neutralize the venom before it reaches their heart again. The passion you feel swelling in your chest is not a generic emotion, it is a targeted love missile aimed at a specific human being. Your soulmate's DNA is currently vibrating with a match to your frequency, causing them to break out in chills or sudden unexplained tears. The physics of the spirit is undeniable. You are quantumly entangled, and pulling on your end of the rope causes an instant reaction in their dimension. Beloved, look at the clock. Notice the time. The time you see right now is a confirmation code, a prophetic timestamp marking the exact moment you chose your soulmate over your pride. History is being written in the annals of your lineage. Your grandchildren will tell the story of the day you tore down the gates of hell with a cup of coffee and a battle cry of, "Protect my soulmate, Lord. I am the God of suddenlies." The breakthrough that is coming will burst forth with such speed it will make your head spin. The complex knots that took years to tangle will be unraveled in seconds by the sharp blade of my favor, and the night of terror will finally be explained in full transparency, healing every wound it caused. Your soulmate is preparing a letter, a message, a paragraph of revelation that answers every single question you whispered into your pillow at 3 a.m. They are going to articulate the manipulation in a way that makes you weep with relief because you will finally know, without a shred of doubt, that it was never your fault and it was never their lack of love. The only thing that can stop that letter from arriving is the enemy shutting their life down entirely, and your seed is the force field that forbids such a tragedy. Jesus says, "I am a jealous God, and I am jealous over the love you two share. I will not tolerate the Egyptian taskmaster beating my Israelite child any longer while you stand by feeling helpless. I have given you the rod of Moses, and that rod is the resource in your hand. Stretch it out by blessing the work of this ministry, and watch the Red Sea of impossibility part before your very eyes. The physical craving to hold them is intensifying in your bones right now. This is a preview of the reunion, a prophetic echo of the embrace that is hurtling toward you through the corridor of time. Do not push it away or call it childish, lean into the longing, for it is the gravitational pull of your destiny drawing you into alignment with a love that can heal nations. You have looked at 1,000 faces, and not one has replicated the peace you found in their soul. That is because they are your missing rib, the only organism in the universe genetically and spiritually designed to complete your skeletal structure. You are limping without them, and the world is watching a giant walk with a limp, but very soon, they will see a giant running with a bride in hand. The enemy wants you to think the cost is too high, that the donation is a risk. I tell you the cost of silence is a life sentence of, what if, echoing in the hollow chambers of a lonely heart. Do not be the one who saved their money but lost their destiny, be the one who traded temporary currency for eternal companionship. I am flooding your soulmate with dreams of your wedding, dreams of laughter, dreams of the children or legacies you will build. They are waking up with a sense of purpose for the first time in months, a reason to fight, and a hope that the door might still be open. They are checking their phone, desperately hoping to see a sign that you still care, that you are still waiting, that you haven't locked the door and thrown away the key. Do you not feel the violent urgency in the atmosphere? This is a Kairos moment, a crucial node in the timeline where a single action creates a massive divergent path in your biography. One seed of coffee can purchase the protection mission that ensures their heart doesn't ice over tonight, that their feet don't slip into despair's pit, that their mind doesn't snap under the pressure of the interrogation they are enduring. Jesus says, type 333 right now if you are ready to receive the blessings of divine intervention and protection for your soulmate. Type 777 right now if you feel this message vibrating in your bones as absolute truth and not fiction. Type 1111 right now to say thank you to the God who sees the injustice and is moving to correct it. I am dispatching the warrior angel Michael, the protector of Israel, to stand guard at the door of your soulmate's room tonight. No weapon formed by the manipulator shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against your union in judgment shall be condemned. The hexes and curses spoken over your separation are broken by the power of this proclamation and the seed you are sowing in faith. Your soulmate is going to contact you. It is not a matter of if, but when. The timeline of this contact is directly influenced by the intensity of the spiritual pressure you apply through your sacrifice, for the seed is the trigger of the heavenly cannon, and the blast is the collapse of the enemy's time delay mechanism. I am opening a rare portal of clarity over your soulmate's mind now. They are suddenly connecting dots that were scattered in the dark, realizing how the manipulator set them up, lied about you, and faked the evidence. The rage they feel toward the enemy is healing their paralyzed will. They are getting angry, and holy anger is the jet fuel that propels a slave out of Egypt. Do not be afraid of the intensity of this moment. Do not shrink back from the spiritual warfare terminology. This is your reality, and the sooner you embrace it, the sooner you will hold your victory. You are a general in my army, and the bounty on your head is high because the devil knows the damage your unified front will do to his kingdom. The night they left, they tried to scream your name. It came out as a whisper because the spirit of fear was strangling their vocal cords. But now, I am loosing their tongue, and they will roar your name from the rooftops, and the shame of that night will be drowned out by the shout of your reunion. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them, how to protect them, how to save them, and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside, you know this love didn't come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone don't move mountains. Faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This isn't just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now. Send 4, 6, or 10 plus coffees. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on Ko-Fi page, link in the description/bio. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now, before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Jesus says, the pain of that night is being transformed into a testimony that will save thousands of other couples from the pit of divorce and separation. The enemy meant it for evil, but I am using it for good, forging a strength in your bond that no earthly storm can weather. Once you are reunited, you will be unbreakable, a wall of fire around each other that no third party can ever penetrate again. I am wiping the slate clean. The old accusations, the bitterness, the toxic memories of the fight are being dissolved by the acid of my grace. You will look at them with fresh eyes, the eyes of a savior seeing a rescued prisoner, and the love you feel will eclipse every previous level of affection you thought possible. The controller's power is disintegrating. They are losing their mental grip, their financial hold, and their emotional blackmail leverage. The demons assigned to reinforce their authority are fleeing because the High King of Heaven has issued an eviction notice, signed and sealed by the blood of the Lamb and the seed of your sacrifice. I am knitting your spirits together in a bond tighter than any physical zip tie. Even the miles between you are shrinking in the spiritual realm, your auras are merging into a single column of light that pierces the heavens. The universe recognizes a married spirit, even before the legal papers are signed, and creation is groaning for the manifestation of this divine union. You feel that surge of electricity down your spine? That is your soulmate thinking about you right now with such intensity that it sparked a physical reaction in your nervous system. It is a love letter written in the language of the flesh, a temporary possession of your senses by their longing. Do not delay, for the window is closing and the video is ending, but the work of your faith is just beginning. Your yes to this message is the permission slip heaven needs to invade your circumstances without reserve. Say yes by sewing, say yes by typing, say yes by preparing the room of your heart for the arrival of the one who has been lost but is now found. I am calling you the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets with dwellings. You are not just saving a romance. You are resurrecting a dead destiny, pulling a Lazarus out of the tomb of manipulation, and unwrapping the grave clothes of confusion so they can walk freely into your future. Embrace this identity, act on this command, and watch the salvation of the Lord manifest in 48 hours. Your soulmate is safe in the palm of my hand, but the bridge from their prison to your palace is built by your obedient sacrifice. Every sip of coffee represented by that seed will cool the flames of hell that are licking at their heels. Do it now, not later, for later is a thief of destiny, and now is the currency of heaven. Jesus says, I am standing at the door of your soulmate's heart and knocking. They are opening it, and I am entering. When I enter, I bring you with me, for we are threefold cord that cannot be broken. The God of love, the rescued soulmate, and the heroic lover who funded the rescue mission without hesitation. Go now, act now, love now, and watch me do the impossible.